Hi, my name's Neil. Thanks for joining me. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a 45-year-old skateboarder, and this channel is all about documenting my kind of return to skateboarding. I skated a lot as a kid, but then I stopped in my kind of mid-teens, maybe about 16 years old, and then took like 25 years break, and then came back to it about 6 years ago. So I think it was about 2018, 2019 when I started again. And this whole channel started when I started skateboarding again. So if you look back at the very first videos, that's where it all began. Anyway, as I said, I've been using the channel to document that return to skateboarding. And the recent videos I've been doing have been looking back at the past year, 2023, month by month, and just looking at the sessions that I was skating, what I was getting up to, and trying to note any progression. So I'm guessing by the fact that you're here, that's your kind of thing. So let's get into today's video. All right, so today's video is up to September. So if you haven't seen the previous videos of the year, go back and check those out. But yep, we're on September now. And the first bit of filming that I did in September was at Bay 66 skate park, which is my local. I live 10 minutes down the road from here. So I come here pretty much every week. And this bit of video was at the end of a session, so it's getting really quiet. But I was thinking about doing rock and roll slides in the deep end of the bowl. I think it's about 6.5 feet deep. And I had been doing them a lot in the mini ramp and in the deeper end of the mini ramp, and I felt like I need to move them on to something bigger. So the deep end of the bowl is the biggest thing here, and so while trying those out, I thought I'd get the camera out and just film them. So let's check that video out first. So as you see, that's pretty good. I was turning out of them relatively well. I tend to find that if the slide is a bit shorter, I can turn out of it a bit easier. The longer the slide goes, the more it kind of gets away from me. So that's something I'm working on, is doing the slide for longer and then still being able to turn out. But I was pretty happy with that because I don't usually get them quite so often as I was getting them there. It was pretty high success rate, so I was pretty happy with that. I just need to make sure that I go back and do it more often there as much as possible. That bowl has got really slippery coping because it's all waxed. The rollerblade has waxed the hell out of the coping. So the slides, they really go. So you have to be kind of careful about them. I've got used to the way that it slides now. Even with having rails on my board, I've just got used to that slide. But if you push it too hard, they can come away from you. Doing something like a rock and roll slide where you're having to turn out of a slide, it can give you, a bit of an off balance moment, which makes the turning out a little bit harder. So something I've got to work on and just keep doing to keep it in the bag. Okay, next up was a vert ramp session at Skaterham Skate Park in Caterham. Now, skating vert is definitely one of my weakest areas of progression. I don't feel like I'm progressing very fast, but maybe if you look at the, whatever it is, 4 or 5 years maybe that I've been skating vert, things aren't too bad, but I'm not progressing all that fast. I've got a massive fear of heights, which kind of adds to the problem. I tend to go once a week or every couple of weeks, and it's just enough to keep my hand in. I'm still at a very basic level as far as tricks go. As you'll see in the video, I've got some pretty basic rock and rolls going on. They're not decked on the platform like they should be, but I managed to turn out of them fairly consistently now. The occasional axle stall, which is very quick, in and then out again. I've been trying to throw in some front side grinds just to try and get comfortable doing front side on the vert wall. It's pretty horrendous feeling really for me doing front side at that steep height. So, you know, everything's pretty basic, but I'm trying to keep my hand in. Let's check that bit of video out now. All right, not too bad, but as you see, I'm not really getting anywhere fast, but keeps my hand in. And skating something that big does really help with skating smaller stuff. It makes it feel a little bit less intimidating. So I'm going to try and keep going, try and keep it up. I'm not really feeling particularly great about skating vert at the moment, but I'm going to try and keep going occasionally at least, just to keep it in the bag, as it were. Sometimes you get those little boosts where you might do something or learn something or get better at it, and it makes you feel like going again. But I think I'm in a bit of a lull at the moment with the vert skating, but I'll keep going, keep trying, and see where it goes. So anyway, the next session that I filmed was at Better Extreme Skate Park in Barking. This is another indoor skate park with a really nice bowl. It's all wooden, but the bowl is quite nice. It's kind of keyhole shaped if you look at it from above. So there's a big round deep end and then a kind of square end for the shallow end. Again, I started here with trying to just push some frontside stuff around and get some frontside grinds in the lower part. I'm making a conscious effort to try and keep frontside stuff going to improve it, because I'm really not good at frontside. So things have to change, and the only way to change that is by doing more of it. So some frontside grinds there in the shallow end, and then some 50/50s in the deep end of the bowl. This is definitely a place that I feel like is a good intermediary point between low stuff and vert. That bowl is pretty deep. I think it's about 7.5 feet, so it's pretty deep and steep, and it's the closest thing before vert that I usually skate. So throwing some 50/50s up there is always good. And then towards the end of the session, I then set about working on rock and rolls in that deep end again. I've got a few before, and I managed to get a few this time. I probably tried about 50 times before I got two, so I wasn't going to bore you and show you all the attempts, so I'm just going to show you the makes. But you can hear me shout with a lot of joy when I finally got them, because they do take a long time sometimes. It shows that I am progressing, that I can pretty much get at least one every time I go, whereas previously it just wasn't going to happen in one session. You know, I'd have to work it up for multiple sessions just to get one. So there is a sign of progression there. I'm happy about that. It does make the rock and rolls easier on anything smaller. I've just got to work towards doing them on the vert ramp now. I mean, I'm doing rock and rolls on the vert ramp, but they're halfway up the board and kind of a tap and turn rather than decking them like I'm doing here. So anyway, let's go and check that out. So that was a pretty cool session. I was quite happy about it, quite pleased to at least get a couple of rock and rolls in that deep end, and pleased to be practicing some frontside grinds there. So in all, very good session, and I can feel there's a bit of progress from that. So next up, I actually went to a skate park that I've never been to before. It's a new one in a place called Horsham, which is kind of south of London. Bit of a trip for me. Might have taken a couple of hours to get there, in fact, at least an hour. But it's a new concrete park, and it's got some quite interesting shapes to it. So it's got quite a nice bowl end with different height walls. One is kind of, I don't know, maybe about 5.5, 6 feet, and then the opposite side is maybe about 6.5, 7 feet. So those two walls opposing each other in height is kind of interesting. And then there's kind of like a round end that's almost like an S bend, and it takes you round and down to some flat walls and stuff in the lower end of the park. But I didn't skate that lower end of the park. I just stayed in the sort of the upper half of the bowl. There is actually a jump box that you can jump over from the higher end of the park down into the lower end. But the trouble is that lower end gets filled with little kids on scooters, so it's kind of really dangerous to jump over that jump box or even ride down into that shallow end if you're going with any speed. So I just avoided it entirely. If you went there when it was completely empty, you could probably have a lot of fun with that jump box. It's one of the only places that I know of that has a jump box like that, and it's very similar to competition park style jump box. So if you were practicing for events like that, it would be a good one to try out. But anyway, yeah, I was just getting used to the shape of it, trying to find some lines, got a few good 50-50 grinds around the corner. And then otherwise, I was trying to do some rock and rolls on both those walls in the deeper end. So I got them in the shallow end fairly straightforward. And then there was a battle to get one in the deep end, which was really tough. Unfortunately, the session was cut short because the rain was rolling in and the grey clouds were getting angrier and angrier as the time went on, and then it started to rain. So that session got cut short, but I was there long enough to enjoy it, and I really do want to go back there sometime. So anyway, let's check that footage out now.
I suppose you have come down with all the kids in here. Yeah. They're so Yeah,
no idea what's going on.
mornings is definitely better.
Huh?
Mornings is definitely better.
Yeah. He's completely oblivious to what's going on.
What's going on?
Yeah.
That keeper in the bicycle.
Yeah.
I saw him earlier. You came around and he was
Yeah.
like literally just.
Yeah.
Front foot! And if they're square, if they're that way and you go in. Get it! That's it.
I'm going to melt. Sorry, Nick's got to ride back from Looks on his motorbike. I wonder who that could be.
So there we go. That was a really enjoyable skate park, and it was a real shame that the rain rolled in. But as I said, I will try and get back there sometime over the summer because it's a nice park and it's got a bit of everything. So anyway, that's the first half of the September video. I've broken this one into two, so there'll be a second half coming shortly. Hopefully you're finding it fairly interesting to watch what I'm getting up to or the skate parks that I'm going to. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If there's anything you want to know about any of these skate parks or anything you want to know about what I'm doing, tricks I'm learning. I'm not really talking about the tricks in a very detailed way because I think maybe I'll do some dedicated videos per trick rather than trying to talk through everything that I'm doing here. Could end up with an awful lot of talking, and I'm very aware I talk too much anyway. So with that, I'll leave you at it. If you're interested in what I'm doing in a more up-to-date day-to-day, week-to-week version of events. Follow me on Instagram. I'll put the link here, and also watch my YouTube shorts. I tend to put videos from sessions that I've been doing up on my Instagram and YouTube shorts almost straight away after I've been for a session. So if you want a more real-time, up-to-date view of what I'm doing, check me out on both of those. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next part very soon. Until then, get out there and skate and take care. Cheers.